And good afternoon, San Antonio. Welcome to the Happy Handyman Show. I'm Trudy Chook, broadcasting live from Johnny Chook's Home and Hardware. Going to be here for the next 30 minutes to talk about all things maintenance around the house. Let me tell you where we're located. We're at 2361 Northwest Military Highway, which is about 2 miles north of Loop 410. When you go past the light at Lock Hill, Selma, you'll see us on the right-hand side in a shopping center about right in the big middle of it. It's called the North Salado Village. We're going to be open today till 6:30, and then tomorrow, for your convenience, 11 to 5. So anything that I talk about today, we have on the shelves at the store, and will soon be in our website, which is happyhandyman.com. So if you're listening to the show, but you don't live in San Antonio and you would like to look at these products, maybe have them shipped to you, just go to our website, happyhandyman.com. Out there you'll see an article that we write every week that is really purposely to go into the Houston Chronicle. They picked us up maybe about 20 years ago, and so we write an article that goes out there every week, and so it's kind of fun to look at that article. Most of the time I write about stuff first before I even bring it on the air, and so you could look at that. And then of course if you wanted to order, it's just a real click, and if you order more than $20 in the state of Texas, then delivery is $6. So let's get started today. First of all, I want to tell y'all we have an event going on right now that is winding up, but I have to tell you, it's one of the most successful events that we have done 2 years in a row now, and it's when we donate the Fiesta medals that we do. The proceeds from that go to K9 for Warriors. And if you're not familiar with K9 for Warriors, it's a wonderful thing that they match up dogs with people, service people. And lots of times they have never had a dog before, or most of the time it's that. And they match up these dogs, and it gets to be a wonderful friendship. And it's good for the dog, it's good for the service person. And we had a dog here today, absolutely adorable. His name was Delta, and he is a golden doodle, the sweetest, kind of like a gentle giant. Okay, because this dog's big. And if y'all know Max, he's like tiny, and he loved Max, and Max loves him. So, and so if you donate to K9 for Warriors, $20, then we take 20% off your whole order in the gift shop. We also have some other sales going on right now for Fiesta weekend. If you buy a medal, you can buy a Fiesta shirt for half off. Really comfortable Fiesta shirts, all in bright colors with lace on the sleeves. All the rest of the apparel is 35% off. And then for the Lalia, which is our favorite perfumes and bath products, if you buy a full-size bath product, then you can have a small perfume or hand cream for free. So just to let you know, that goes to the end of today. And so if you're not busy right now, come on down to the store and check it out. All right, I have to tell you, okay, so I went to 3 hardware shows in a matter of 2 weeks. I don't think I'm still over it, but the stuff that we looked at and that we said, wow, that's really cool, let's bring it in, is starting to come in. So that's what I'm going to talk to you about today. I'm going to talk to you also about a tip that I saw online, and this tip I thought was really good. I've seen tons of tips online, and half of them I go, okay, that is, do you ever look at them and go, okay, that's so dumb. Okay, who would do that? But this one, I thought it was really cool. So let's talk about the first thing. How many of you, you're very aware of a product called Ring, and then I think there's one called Nest. There's several of them that have cameras that you hook up to your Wi-Fi, and then you can download, and it alerts you every time, and you pay for service and things like that. But what if I told you I found a camera that just screws right into where a light bulb goes? This is a new camera from Energizer. It is a smart one. It does connect to your Wi-Fi, so you would download an app on your phone. It's got an adjustable camera that will go about 90 degrees. It pans and tilts, and it's super reasonably priced. And then the fact is, you don't even have to like pay a monthly service. You can just have, I mean, you can and have it record, but if that's not important to you, if you're using it like a deterrent, and that's what I'm going to do, because okay, I hate to say this, I'm going to jinx myself. I don't have any problem with that around my house. But I think somebody seeing that there is a camera there, and you can speak through it. It has audio on it. It does have where it will alarm. And so it's just amazing, because some of the rings and things like that, they're very expensive. But this is not. And it's just simple. Screw it into a light bulb socket. Okay, so where could you put these? Of course, at your front door. That's a given. And I would put it up. I have an outlet where a light goes in very high on the ceiling. You would have to have a ladder to get to this. So it's not like I could just unscrew it and walk away with it. So that's something to think about. And then maybe by your garage. And then you can also use it on the inside of your house too. And you can put it in a lamp and screw down. You cannot cover it up. You don't want to cover it up with the shade, okay? So some shades have a place on top where you know, this would stick up just fine. So, and then you could use it to watch your pets. You could use it as to watch if you have somebody at home that you want to make sure is safe and content. I just thought this was really unique, and I love the fact that it was made by Energizer. They make great batteries and great products, and that you do not have to have a service to use this. So you want to come by if you're thinking about a camera. It comes packaged like this from Energizer, and it's very easy to install. In fact, that's the part I loved about it. So, okay, now let me tell you about another new product. Remember a product that we had quite a few years ago, and it was called Holy Cow. It was a degreaser that was not like anything else. It was such a good degreaser. Does it have a light? We had John that jumped on Facebook, because we're live streaming on Facebook right now also, and you can jump on too. It does not have a light, okay? So this new Energizer camera is not a light also. I will check in. Maybe I'm wrong, but I will look when I get a little more time, because I haven't installed one at my house yet. Okay. There was, back to the degreasers. Holy Cow was this degreaser that was unbelievable. You could use it on glass top surfaces. You could use it on stainless steel. You could use it also like on your clothes. Like if you drip some oil, like you're having bread and olive oil, and you get some olive oil on your shirt or anything like that. And it was amazing. It was a family-owned business. And it was a very sad story about why they closed. Sometime, if you're in the store, I'll tell it to you personally. But anyway, Spray Away bought that from this family, and they had it for a long time. And then all of a sudden, they dropped it. And which was such a shame, because it had such a following. It was almost like a cult following, you know, Holy Cow. And but remember me talking about RMR, and RMR has that great mildew remover that will clean out mildew from silicone caulk. It's the only one I know of that will do it, and it's just amazing. Well, guess what? They came up with a ready-to-use heavy-duty degreaser. RMR did. It has no smell, like holy cow. It does an amazing job as far as removing grease on any kind of flat surface. You can use it indoors, you can use it outdoors. They say you can use it on your garage. I have not used it on oil spots, but I used it around the house for a couple of weeks now, and I've been very pleased with the results. Mainly I like it because it's not a lot of soap, okay? And so it doesn't foam up a whole lot, and it's easy to clean. You're not spending a lot of time rinsing and rinsing and rinsing it. It cleans very easy. I tell you, I love using it with the Libman microfiber on a roll. And if you haven't ever tried that, oh, you are missing out. But this RMR is a great answer for what can we have since holy cow is not here anymore. So RMR, I'm going to bring in 3 different new products from RMR. They have really branched out, and I have liked everything they have sent me. This is what I'm talking about this week, is their ready-to-use degreaser. There was a lady that called me, and she says, Trudy, I have smoke stains inside my house on the walls. And I called RMR when you started talking about it, and they agreed that their degreaser would remove smoke stains off the walls. So I feel like I haven't even touched the surface about what RMR will do for you. So come on by and take a look. And it's very inexpensive. It's a great product, something you want to keep inside the house. All right, let me tell you where we're located again. We're at 2361 Northwest Military Highway. Going to be here till 6:30 today, and tomorrow 11 to 5. If you want to call the store, if you have a question about what I'm talking about, the number is 341-1573. Of course, 210-341-1573. All right, so I don't know if I talked to y'all a lot about the National Hardware Show. The National Hardware Show, I got to go this year because it did not fall over at the same time when Do It Best did. I have to go to the Do It Best show. I don't have to go to the National Hardware Show. And to be honest with you, the National Hardware Show has never been the same since COVID. It's a very sad situation, and because I just have a lot of emotional ties to the National Hardware Show, because we have found so many products at the National Hardware Show, and it's different. It's different from the Do It Best show. The Do It Best show and shows like that, these are companies. You do come across some small businesses in there, but and you do. I mean, it would be a lie to tell you that there's not a lot of small business, but there is. But not like at the National Hardware Show, where it might be startup company. You might see the inventor there and willing to talk to you about what they went through to bring this product to fruition. It was just a wonderful time and an exciting time to look at all these new products. And since, but the National Hardware Show it's not quite the same, and so I spent a day and a half there and really had to research to find products, but I did. And one of them is the product called AnySharp, and I'm showing those to you on Facebook. AnySharp is a knife sharpener that you can keep at home, okay? And it's unlike what you mostly see. Most of the time, the sharpeners you see, you kind of hold them in your hand and you draw against that. And I have never liked that because I'm always afraid I'm going to slice off a finger if I accidentally look up at the TV or whatever. And so I came across this company called AnySharp. And they don't just do knife sharpeners, they do a ton of other stuff. But this is what I was interested in. It's very small, maybe about the size of a big washer. It will suction down to your countertop. That's what I love. And then you draw your knife through it just a couple of times. It will work on a straight edge and it will work on a serrated edge. You don't see that very often, but it does work on a serrated edge. And so I took it home, and I knew it had to be reasonably priced, and it is, because we get a knife service here, and he comes and he does, and it's about $1.25 an inch, and I have my knives done. But you know how sometimes if you have them in the drawer, that makes them very dull. And so I thought it would be nice to have something that I could just run my knife through a couple of times and have it sharp again. And just right there, right on the countertop. Or if I didn't want to keep it on the countertop, it's small enough to go in the drawer. And since it's such a great price, it makes a great gift. I mean, talk to women who's maybe they're widowed and their husbands used to sharpen all their knives for them. Well, now they have to take their knives someplace to get sharpened. This little sharpener, I'm telling you, you're going to thank me for this. This is a great little sharpener. All right, so let me tell you about the tip that I saw this week. And I saw it on Facebook, and so don't make a face. It had to do with using heavy-duty felt pads. The kind that you almost use them like bumpers on your cabinet doors so that when you close the door, it doesn't make a loud noise. Or you can also use them on the bottom of chair legs, right? Well, this person had put them, because they're adhesive, okay, had put them in a drawer on the side of the drawer, the door side, and then sprayed them with room spray. And so then her drawers smelled so good. Just like when we used to do drawer liners all the time. The drawer liners are very hard to find and they're expensive. And so this is a great alternative. I just thought it was such a unique tip. And so I want you to try it too. So get yourself some heavy duty felt pads. And then you could either get some room spray. We have tons of room sprays here. Michelle Design makes a beautiful smelling one called Indigo Seas. It's super nice. But also, you could put a little perfume on it. We just got in Sweet Grace. Sweet Grace is a line that we carry that everybody loves. It has such a wonderful fragrance to it. And they do room sprays, and they do oils, and they do these flowers that turn colors that put this Sweet Grace smell in the air. It is the best fragrance. So they came out with a perfume. You could easily use it with these little felt pads. So there's my tip for you this week. I think it's a great idea, and I'm going to do it in my closet where I keep all my towels. So, all right, so we've talked about the AnySharp. We've talked about RMR. Now I want to talk to you about something that you probably wouldn't think I'd be talking about, and you're surprised I found it at the National Hardware Show. It's called Suckin Sauce. It is the best barbecue sauce I have ever put in my mouth. It is a little bit sweet, it's a little bit salty, and it's a family-owned business, and you can use it on chicken, on seafood, wings, pork, chicken nuggets, more, your hamburgers, beef. It is the best. The original one is called Sweet Southern. And we'll let y'all do samples of it in a couple of weeks, but it is so good. I bought several things from them, and you wouldn't think of the National Hardware Show, you'd be sampling food. But like I told you, I searched hard to find new stuff. But this stuff is so good, and it's by a family that just takes this very personally. So they did a video with me, and we recorded it down there. They were the cutest little couple you have ever seen. All right, let's talk real quick about what should be your project for this week and the things that you need to do right now around the house. For the project for the week, I'm going to tell you, you should spray the house with Clobber. Clobber is our in-home pest control that you can do yourself, okay? Clobber is a water-based spray, aerosol spray that has little to no smell that you can just spray around all the baseboards real quick one morning before you go to work. Leave, and when you come home, everything's safe. You will have no smell. I just keep Max out of the house for about 20 minutes because it dries in 20 minutes and it's safe as soon as it's dry. So I would do this around the house before the ants start wanting to find water, before it gets so hot you've got roaches that are wanting to come into the house. Spray with Clobber. It makes like a perimeter. I spray all around, windows, doors also. I don't bother spraying in my pantry. I do spray underneath the sink. So Clobber for the inside of the house. Now, if you want to spray in your garage, maybe you want to catch them before they go in the house, you want to use their sister product called VS102. Do not use VS102 in the house. It's an oil-based, it takes a long time to dry, and the odor is pretty strong. So, how do you get any, let's see, a lady just asked me, Sarah asked, how do I get any sharp here? Just call the store, I'll ship it to you. I'm going to put it on my website, and so if you give me about another 4 or 5 days, it will be on the website. Okay, now another thing that you need to remember, if you have kitty cats at your house and you're really struggling with the odor that comes through with kitty cats, we talked about this last week. I had people coming in right away. A product called Kitty Stop that is made by the Biozap people. It's specifically targeted to the odor that comes from cats and litter boxes. You can, whenever you clean out your litter box, you can spray the litter box. You can spray the tile around where your litter box is. If they have sprayed on the couch or anything like that, or bottoms of the draperies, I know cats like to do that, you can spray it with Kitty Stop. It will immediately stop the smell. You might have to do it a couple of times, but immediately will stop the smell. And if they can't smell it, they won't come back to it. All right, so what's something that you should be doing right now? I'm going to sound like a broken record, but I just had my rep come in that is part of, it's called Source One now, but it used to be called Adams. And they provide all my organics for me for lawn and garden. And one of the best things you can do right now, because I talked to Don about that, he's so knowledgeable. He says compost still, Trudy. What compost will do for your yard is it will loosen the soil. Now, have you ever watered on your 1 day a week and you watered and it kind of rolled away because it wasn't able to get down into the soil? Now, we might not be having that problem right now because we're continually getting a little bit of moisture all the time, and so the soil is loose, and so when it does rain, it gets down in there. You want to get that down into the soil about 6 inches, because then when it gets hotter than Hades, your grass has got deep roots in it where it has been watered. Okay, so that's what compost is good for. It's It sets your ground up for the heat that's getting ready to come up. And then you want to fertilize. And you want to use a product that is an organic fertilizer, and you want to water it in, and it's called Growing Green. Ask me about it. Come into the store. I'll tell you all about it and how pleased I am. All right, let me tell you where we're located again. We're at 2361 Northwest Military Highway. The phone number here is 210-341-1573. And that's it for this week, folks. It's time for you to roll up your sleeves and get busy on some of these projects we've been talking about. But by all means, you remember one thing. It will always be a great day to paint. See you next week.